If you are an IT student and you are doing your practical assessment tasks or your PAT, then these videos are some tips and ideas which you can use in your PAT. And this video is going to focus on how you can open a file from Delphi. What we mean is if you've got a particular file like a text file or an Excel file or a video file that you want to open from the Delphi application, as if you were double clicking on it, well, this is the video for you. So here we've got a program, and all I want to do is when I click on this button, it must open up a particular file. So how do we do that? We can do that in 3 easy steps. So step 1, if we come here to the top under users, we want to make sure that you add the ShellAPI. So make sure that you add that under users. That is step 1. Step 2, and here I'm on the actual button click event. I created a string variable to specify the file path. You want to give a string value for what the file is that you want to open. Make sure that you include the extension. Now, if you just name the file, if you come to your project files, if you go into the Win32 debug, that's where your files must be that you want to open. So there I've got a temp.docx, which I want to open, and that's the exact same name as what I've got there. So if you just specify the file name, make sure that your file is in the debug folder of your project. However, if you don't have the file name and you want to run it from a particular file, then you can specify the full path like C:/ and you can mention the folder name / the folder names and so on. So you can put the file path directly like that, very static, but I'll prefer to have it just referring to the file name so that if I move this to a flash drive or another computer, it will still work as long as that file's still in the debug folder or wherever the exe file is. Step 3 is we're going to run the shell execute with a whole bunch of parameters. So you can just copy it as is. It's 0. Then we want to say open as a string. Then we want the file path that we've got over here. You could actually just type that in over there in a pchar function. And then we want null, and sw show normal. Now you don't really need to worry about what those are. Just copy it as is. But if you do want to know, these are the parameters. So the first one is the handle to the window that will open if it's in a newly created window, or naught if no window is to be created. So we left it as naught. Then number 2 is the operation. You can open, you can explore, you can even print. So there are other aspects to the shell execute that allow you to do those things. Number 3 is the file name. So that's the file that we want to open. Then the parameters to be passed to the application. Sometimes you want values to be passed when you open a file. We want nothing. The default directory for the application, we also said null. And then the show command. This is how it must be displayed. For example, you can use show normal. You could use hard. You can say show maximize as long as the SW underscore is in front. And that just tells you the state of the window when it opens. All of this is from Software.com blog, how to use a shell execute. So thanks to them for the information. So let's remind ourselves of the 3 steps. First, add the ShellAPI at the top, specify the file path, and then run shell execute with those parameters. Just a side note, remember that must be in the same folder as your exe file. So let's test it. So there's a program. We're going to click on the open file button. And there you can see Microsoft is starting to open. And there we go. You can see there's the file. Well, this is working with a smiley face. So I'm going to close it. And I'm just going to test it with a different program. We've got a hello.txt there, so let's try that. So to open the text file in the text file editor, let's run it. And let's click on open file. And there we go. Our text file is open. There's nothing in the text file, but there you can see it's hello.txt. So there we go. That's how you open up a file from Delphi. For more tips for your IT PAT, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, click on that subscribe button, and go to the playlist tab where you can find other playlists with IT tips that can help you and everything you need to know to complete your PAT. And remember, don't do it the long way, do it the Mr. Long way.